Hey guys, it's Adrian here, and today I am going to be saying scary stories that happened to me, and I'm reading some off my iPad. Sorry, Dad's iPad. And I guess I'll start with this first. If I can get up close, because it's really small. See? So it's called 3 a.m. and it says, my cousin recently moved here from Secunderabad, India. On a recent road trip exploring America, we were shooting blank, S-H-I-T, and exchanging ghost stories and laughing at similarities and differences between American ghost stories and Indian ghost stories. When I asked her if she ever experienced anything supernatural, her eyes widened as she averted her eyes to the window. Just when the silence was about to be too much for me, she softly responded, "Yes, a few one is troubling." When I was a second year in college, I stayed at an all-girl hostel. I made my friends. We were all very happy to be in school away from our conservated parents. This whole hostel was so much fun, but it was a very, very old building. Electricity was only put in the rooms. Sometimes candles were placed along the windows if a watchman was present. But normally, once you left the room, you were faced with complete darkness. It's common to wake up someone if you need to walk down the restroom at the end of the hall. We all had childish fear of being alone in the dark. This is like a very weird, pronunciation. Okay. One night I had to use the restroom. It was about 4 a.m. I went to my friend's bed and tapped her on the arm. She immediately opened her eyes as soon as I touched her. I apologized for bothering her and told her I need to pee. She smiled at me and hopped out of bed. All the way down the hallway, she laughed and danced. I cannot see her at all, but her bangles clanked together loudly and bells on her ankles jingled softly. It was very calming. I laughed and sashed my hips down the hallway with her, too tired to match elaborate arm movements. She said nothing to me, though occasionally I hear her hum on one of our favorite Bollywood songs. The same thing happened on our return. I fell back asleep easily. I awoke fairly late the next morning to the sound of a man in our room. They surrounded her bed. I bolted from my bed, preparing to protect my friends. When I realized they were administrators of the college, I peered over closer. My friend's lifeless eyes were fixated on the bed, the same smile on her face. Suicide. Her time of death was 11:30 p.m., almost 5 hours before I woke her. That was scary. Wow. Her friend and her went to the bathroom while she was dead. That is creepy. That is really creepy. Like, oh my god. Now I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. Okay. The next story is one of my stories. So I live on a block, and it's like a street. There's a main street. Like, this is the main street, and then you go down this street, and then you can turn, and then you can turn again, and it's basically a P. Yeah, it's basically a P. And so there's like, I call it the intersection, but when you're coming down when you're coming down the street from the main street, there's like a tiny, like, it's not really an intersection, but I call it an intersection, where you turn to go to the P. Right there, it's not a busy street. We're like in quiet, so it's not an intersection, but so we always ride our bikes at night, like 11:30 all the time, because we have like 600 kids on our block, not really, like 12. So me and my friend Corbin, not really my friend actually, and my cousin, and I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. Just us three. We're riding our bikes right there, and we'd go down a little bit to go on like the main road, but we didn't really go down so far. We went like, the main road's here, you're coming down, and then you turn right here. We went like right here, and we always would go down there halfway, and then this car would come up, then turn back around, and it's like 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock, and it keeps happening, and it's the same exact car. And the one time it parked like right there, and we didn't even know until we went up a little more, and then we like jumped behind the bushes. So I got off my bike. Well, actually, we weren't on our bikes, we were just walking, and then we got our bikes after, and it would keep coming down, and it scared us so much because it's 12 o'clock at night, literally 12 o'clock, and we're standing there, and it went fully around, and then came back, then went down again. So we didn't know what it was. We never really knew, but that was really scary, so that's why I said that. And then, let me think of some other scary stories we have. Oh, I'll tell you one really scary story. So, my bed, I'm like staring at my bed right now. It's like this. Like, my bed's here, and my big thing's right there. And it used to be like right here against that wall that I'm staring at. And I have this mirror dresser, like with the mirror and then the dresser on the bottom. And it used to be like right here where this picture was. And my window is over there. So I have another window right here, obviously. And I always like hate my windows. It's really weird. But there's this weird guy that lives, it's our street, and then over on the other street there's apartments. And basically this guy lives in the apartments. He's really very, very weird. He's like the weirdest guy in the world. He asks you questions, and I honestly think he's gonna kidnap someone one day. And he has this dog, and I thought this was him, but I'm not sure. But I was sitting on my bed with my dog, and he was staring at like the mirror, and he was looking out the window, and obviously he was barking at the mirror because he saw something in the window. And I was like, what the heck is that? And it was like late at night, so I'm like, okay, go back to bed, be quiet, Camel. So I got down, turned my light on, looked, there was a hand mark, like trying to push up my window, hand marks on the window. And then I was not going to go outside at night to investigate this. So we went in the morning, and our grill was right there, and we had like chicken bones or something, like chicken or something in there. And obviously we thought it was his dog because there was the paw marks everywhere, bunny paw marks, and there was it was trying to get to the bones, and I was like, oh my god, just to think that it could have got in my room. But I would have stopped it anyway because I was up and my cousin was sleeping because we had bunk beds. That was really scary. And the next story is like really, 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 really scary to me. We were about like 5 years old. My friend Anthony, my friend Anthony, my brother Anthony, my cousin Katie, and me and Nick, my friend Nick. We were really young. They moved off the block already, so we were really young, and they were probably about 12 and I was like 5. And me and Katie were both the same age, and they were all like 12, 11, 10. And my dad likes 4-wheelers and stuff, so he has like 2 4-wheelers now. And I think him and they were together like talking. Anthony Boy, we call him Anthony Boy. Anthony Boy and Nick their dad was with my dad talking, and we were at my house in the backyard, and we had a playground, and back up there's a hill, and it's like the creek, and it's concrete right there. So there's like all these bad kids that used to hang out there. They still kind of do, but I know not to go near them. So these goth kids, no offense, these goth people had like guns and knives, like little pistol guns, not like big giant guns, and like knives. And there was like 12 of them down there, okay? And we're on our swing set, and Anthony Boy and my brother Anthony were down there on the hill, like sneaking up and going and saying stuff like creep and stuff like that. And they were like gonna come kill my brothers because they were so annoyed, and they were like, let's go kill these kids. So my brother and Anthony Boy ran down the hill. I was on top of like the monkey bars, you know, like how monkey bars are like this, and then you like sit on top or something. I was up there, and Katie was like in the little like house thing built on it, and Anthony Boy got me down, and Nick got Katie. Anthony, we all ran, got my dad and his dad. They both got on 4-wheelers and just rode up the hill after them. And my dad almost ran over one guy on his bike. That was one of my scariest moments in my life. Okay, do I have any other scary stories? Okay, yeah, so my grandma's house is right next to me. She passed away, and so there's my papa, my aunt passed away in there. Well, not in there, but they passed away. And we always think they're in there because, you know, I don't think that, but my mom thinks that. I think there's someone that died in there before. So I have a couple scary things about the house. So let me start with the first one. So you walk into my grandma's house, okay? And there's a mirror. Like, you'll walk in, you get on the steps, you'll see the mirror over on the wall in the dining room. And from there you can see like the steps. And I walk in and I check that every single time because I always have been scared of that house. I step over there, but I'm always scared of it. I hate the upstairs. It just scares me so much. Like, the bottom part I'm okay with if there's a lot of people in there, but I've always been scared of upstairs, and it's just, I don't know what it is, but I've always been scared of it. So I would never want to sleep close to the stairs. I'd always be like in the middle because I was always scared. I was like 6, so you obviously think like a 6-year-old is always scared or something, but I was like scared because I knew there's something there. And I checked the mirror, and this was well, my grandma was in the hospital, but she was there. She came back from the hospital, and I looked in the mirror, and I swear to God, I saw, I think it's like Bloody Mary, you know, like when they have the black hair over her face, and then she has like the white little gown thing on. I saw that standing right there. I swear to God, I've never bolted faster out of that house before in my life. The next story is, so after everyone passed away, we have to clean out the house because she was a hoarder, like a clean hoarder, not like junk food everywhere, but she had like a lot of this stuff. This is from her house. And